Welcome to Tanks Time Forgot, a series where we look into some of the many tanks most have forgotten. The goal is to look closer at them and see what their positives are and why they fell by the wayside. Alright, tank number 2, Jagdtiger 88. And this is a really old premium. It's got preferential matchmaking, so you'll never see tier 10. It, as the name implies, carries the 88 found on the Tiger 1 and restocked Tiger 2. And it's a little different because they actually buffed the pen a wee bit, but it's not really enough to make much of a difference. But it's got a good rate of fire, standard alpha 240. It didn't get buffed with the rest. Anytime's really good, accuracy's really good. You got not really any gun depression. The tank's really tall. And let's just see what else we got. It's just a really old tank. This thing used to be a real beast. I haven't looked at the armor model in a long time, because unlike on the Tiger 2, which had a simplified armor model, which effectively removed the machine gun port, the Jagdtiger 88 may still have that as a weak spot. So this is a unbuffed Tiger 2 hull. And then you got the very strong casemate. Casemate be like 250. So theoretically, if you could just cover the lower hull, you should be able to sit in most things pretty comfortably if you're hull down. Now, yeah, like I said, this is just a really old premium, and it's going to be a common theme with some of the older premiums. Is they're going to have preferential, and that's just one of the reasons they kind of fell behind, because preferential was given to those that just couldn't really perform at tier 10 battles, and unfortunately, what would be the tier 10s from before are becoming like tier 9s now. So it's really starting to lag, and plus with gold so easily available for everyone, the casemate here isn't as strong as it used to be. It's pretty much completely flat. But ideal situation, you're going to end up in a tier 8, tier 6 game. You're going to roll into a hold down position, and all the enemies are going to just come right in front of you and just shoot. They will try and pen your superstructure, and since they don't have gold or enough pen in general, they're just going to bounce off the superstructure and let you murder them. Now, Jagdtiger 88 overall, in my experience, is a more stationary tank. Like I said, you want to find a hold down position and just sit there and laugh as they bounce off you. Harder to find nowadays, with the game just getting increasingly faster. And again, gold will basically shred this in tier 8 game. You can be a bit dominant. Beware of the hole. You, of course, got the lower plate. Again, like I mentioned, machine gun port right here might go ahead and still be a weak spot, because right here where the machine gun is flat plates. So the gun mantlet is nice and thick, covers a good part. And just everything just kind of works, but it really is forgotten. Narrow gunfire, unfortunately, you got 240 alpha, and ain't no one impressed with 240 alpha nowadays anyway. Good DPM, good rate of fire, you can lock something down, but narrow firework. It cannot traverse as far. And it does make it a much more stationary tank, plus it's all about just getting that DPM downrange. And it's a little bit contrary to one of my favorite tank destroyers, the Ferdinand. Again, this one just doesn't have strongest casemate, but that doesn't matter. We got a much wider arc to work with, and a much bigger gun with more pen and everything else compared to the Jagdtiger 88. Jagdtiger 88 is a good crew trainer for Ferdinand, Jagdtiger, and Jagdpanzer E100 crews. So they would mesh up real well. This is my Jaeger crew. They were probably intended for a different tank before, and then they got dropped into Ferdinand with the way up. But that's it, and so we'll go ahead and check out a replay. Alright, so here we are, we're in Erlenberg, and we got basically the ideal matchup. We got tier 8s and tier 6s. And we're going to end up finding ourselves in ultimately the best situation you want to have in your Jagdtiger. The Jagdtiger is a bit more of a stationary tank destroyer, unlike one of my favorite ones, the Ferdinand, which you could be a little more active in. And that's probably just down to the gun arc and everything else. The gun arc on the Jagdtiger 88 here is incredibly small, and Alpha's also incredibly small, so you can't just go in and start trading. Here we are. We're going to go ahead and just start rushing into the city as fast as a Jagdtiger 88 can rush. And we're going to find ourselves in basically the ideal situation. We're going to have enemies in front, and none of them really doing much of anything to us. So just like all Jagdtiger, especially Jagdtiger 88 and top tier, you want to go and just find a hold down position and pray they just can't be able to pen you. So I'm over here to see all these guys, and I just start rushing my own damn shots for no apparent reason. But we're almost to a good position. We're not interested in capping the base. We're interested in getting some shots off. Okay, we got houses right here, so let's go and take the upper position. And we got just a lot of enemies crossing here. This is happy hunting time. We're more or less hold down. If they hit us, they can't hit us for much. They shouldn't be able to really pen us. And now we just start farming people. Wait a minute, we tracked him. And here we go. Tanks all around. And we apparently still managed to hit him. So, there's not much fear of actually being damaged here other than the Hellcat shooting high explosives. Find a tank, just start happily blasting. And now realize someone did get in behind me. I'm like, what the hell's this shit? Who the hell's hitting me from behind? We'll just run his ass over and go back to happily hunting everyone. And even with the damaged gun, this tank is fairly accurate. Now, granted, we probably need to aim for more broad parts, so, let them come out a bit so you can get good shots. And goodbye. This is the ideal situation for the Jagdtiger 88. Hold down, no one can really actually damage you unless they flank you. And if they're anything like the fucking clown car, you just turn around and swat them away. And game over. That was a quick one.